What's up, everyone? We're just a few games into the season, and already the rumor mill is working overtime. You know how it goes. One moment, your favorite player's on the team, and the next, boom, he's out the door in a blockbuster trade. From all the insider buzz and reports leaking out, we're looking at 5 serious names already heating up with trade talk. So let's dive into the stars who might just be switching jerseys before this season ends. Some of these names might surprise you, but the more we dig, the more it makes sense. If you're as hyped as we are, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and buckle up because we're about to break down the biggest names who could be on the move. Starting off with Brandon Ingram, a name lighting up the rumor mill. Now, Ingram is no stranger to putting up points. He's averaged over 22 points per game for the last 4 seasons. But get this, New Orleans has yet to lock him in with an extension, which has fans and analysts wondering, could he be on his way out? And the possibility is quite high because the franchise did try to get rid of him in the offseason. Here's why this matters. Ingram's versatility as a scorer and playmaker makes him a gem. He's a 6'8" forward who can handle, shoot, and score from pretty much anywhere on the court. And at just 27, he's entering what should be the prime years of his career. Remember his 2022-23 season? Ingram shot 48.4% from the field and averaged 24.7 points per game. Pair that with his wingspan, and he's an absolute nightmare to guard. And with Zion Williamson's injury history, the Pelicans need reliability in their lineup. If they can't agree on an extension, expect Ingram to be the hottest trade asset on the market. Think about teams like the Warriors or Mavericks, places where Ingram's scoring and size could be lethal. So keep an eye on New Orleans because Ingram's future could flip the power balance in the league. Next up, let's talk Zach LaVine. Now, LaVine is an athletic beast and a 2-time All-Star, but averaged only 19.5 points per game last season, and his time in Chicago is getting a bit rocky. Despite his scoring abilities, the Bulls' core with LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and DeMar DeRozan hasn't brought the success they hoped for. In fact, it's likely we're seeing the end of Chicago's current Big Three experiment. Here's why LaVine's trade buzz is so intense. While he's undeniably talented, his massive contract and lingering defensive concerns have put him in a tricky position. Teams may hesitate to take on his deal, but that might also mean they can get him at a discount if the Bulls are eager to move on. For a team on the brink of playoff contention, LaVine could be a game changer, and he's off to a fiery start this season, averaging 23 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game.
Lob up top for LaVine!
Go get it!
Oh, shades of 2021! Ball with the high arcing rainbow, and LaVine with the hammer.
Now, teams like the Nuggets, who've recently lost Bruce Brown, could definitely use an offensive punch. Or maybe even the Mavericks, where Luka could benefit from a scoring partner like LaVine. Wherever he goes, LaVine has a lot to prove, and this season might be his last chance to do it in Chicago.
The lob for Butler, he did it! Jimmy Butler put it in with 0.3 of a second left and got fouled!
Oh, are you
Incredible, they didn't foul, ball game's over!
Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Now this one stings for Miami fans. Butler's hard-nosed play has made him a beloved figure in Miami, especially after his legendary playoff runs. But this summer, there was noticeable friction. Pat Riley's comments on Butler's health and playing time weren't exactly subtle, and Butler didn't hold back with his own thoughts either. The Heat held off on extending him, and Butler's entering the last year of his contract with a player option for next season, which he may very well decline. In all fairness, Butler still has plenty of value. However, for a Miami team that may not match up with other East powerhouses, giving Butler another long-term deal might not align with their future plans. Imagine Butler on a team like the Rockets, who are building a young core but need a veteran to help them get to the playoffs. Or how about the Knicks, where he could reunite with Tom Thibodeau and bring his tenacity to Madison Square Garden. There are a lot of options, and if Miami doesn't come out strong this season, don't be shocked if Butler's name pops up on the trading block. Next up, DeAndre Aon, and this one might surprise you. Aon has joined the Trailblazers, but the front court in Portland is already stacked. They've got Robert Williams, a defensive powerhouse, and Donovan Clingan, who looks like a promising rookie center. Aon, who was the number 1 overall pick back in 2018, may find himself the odd man out in this rotation. Ayton's numbers in Phoenix were strong. He averaged 16.7 points and 11.1 rebounds last season and shot a solid 57% from the field. But his inconsistency and occasional clashes with the Suns' coaching staff raised questions about his role. If he can prove himself in Portland early on, he might catch the eye of teams looking for a center with size, scoring, and rebounding ability. The Raptors, for instance, could use a center like Ayton to solidify their front court. Or imagine Ayton teaming up with Luka in Dallas, where his rebounding and inside scoring could relieve some pressure off Luka. Portland's in a rebuilding phase, and if Ayton doesn't fit their long-term vision, he could be a top trade piece by mid-season. Finally, we have Darius Garland, the young point guard lighting up the Cavs' backcourt. Garland averaged 18 points and 6.5 assists last season, continuing his decline over the past 2 seasons. He's got an all-star ceiling, but here's the dilemma. Cleveland just extended Donovan Mitchell, and there's a question mark on how the Garland-Mitchell pairing will work long-term. Both players are undersized and excel with the ball, so the fit isn't as seamless as the Cavs might have hoped. Garland's court vision, shooting, and youth make him a highly attractive trade piece if Cleveland decides that he and Mitchell can't thrive together. Teams looking for a young playmaker are surely paying attention. Think about the Magic, who could use a point guard to elevate their young roster. Or perhaps the Nets, who need offensive talent to build around. Garland could be a core piece for years to come, and Cleveland knows his value. And Cavs are off to a tremendous start this season, and if they continue forward the same way, Garland is too good to let go.
Darius, congrats on the win. A 6-0 start for you guys for the first time since 2016.
However, if he is released, he could be one of the most coveted players on the market, especially with teams desperate for a skilled young point guard. So there you have it, the 5 NBA stars who could be on the move this season. From Brandon Ingram's potential exit in New Orleans to Jimmy Butler's uncertain future in Miami, these players are already fueling the NBA trade rumor mill. We all know how fast things change in the NBA, and one big trade can alter the league landscape in an instant. Let me know in the comments, who do you think is most likely to be traded? Or do you think there's someone else who deserves a spot on this list? The season's already shaping up to be a wild one, and we've only just begun.